Hello and welcome to another episode of Making Shit with Live, powered by BNI. Today we are going to talk about all the tips and tricks to help you get more referrals by making things easier on your referral partners. So let's get started. You can catch our show each and every week at 11 a.m. Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And you can also catch the replays on LinkedIn as well. And so be sure to subscribe on the YouTube channel, and that will help you make sure that you never miss a show. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to get more referrals by making things easier for your referral partners. And I was reminded of this idea as I was doing a workshop for Referrals in Motion chapter in Huntsville, and we were doing one of the referral programs, and a visitor was actually there, and we're talking about how can you get more referrals. And basically, she says, reduce user effort. This was Victoria Jones. She is a singer-songwriter who is going to be performing for D Cubed, Dylan's Dogs for Diabetes, at their fundraiser next month in November. And she was there to present that she was going to be there, and she's presenting a little bit about just how the music industry works. And then, as you could tell, she just knew so much about business. And so she fully was participating in the workshop, even though she was going to be an I member. And I told her, I was like, I'm stealing this, I'm using this, I'm taking this. And so this is the topic of the show today. All right, why do you want to reduce user effort? Well, when Victoria originally brought this up, and afterwards I was talking with her about it, and she says, it's about reducing the effort when you're looking at social media platforms and websites and things like that. Can people easily navigate and get the information that they want from you very, very easily? Which is true. You've got to do that with all of that as well. And if you want more tips on that, Jean Lewis and I recorded a great show about StoryBrand, which does that brilliantly. But this also carries into referral partnerships. So when you're looking at your referral partnerships and you're deciding and you're figuring out how can I get more out of this person? Well, step number one is to get to know them and get to trust, right? So step number one is getting to trust, using the biography sheet, using the gains exchange to really get to know each other. Once we're at trust, then I've got to kind of compel you to want to help me. And the gains exchange helps me compel you to want to help me by sharing my big goals. What am I working for? What are my accomplishments? Like, what am I really doing this business for? What's my bigger why? And that really helps people want to be compelled to help someone else. And then we go into this operational space, this space where we have to operationalize what we are doing. We have to operationalize. We have to make sure that we are continuously getting referrals and continuously communicating effectively to make sure that referral flow happens. And that's why I think people get hung up. If we think about it, BNI started over 36 years ago. Over 36 years ago, we didn't have the internet. And it reminds me of this quote of like, I used to think people didn't have access to the information, and that's why they weren't able to make things happen. But now we have the internet, and so that was wrong. Same thing. One of the reasons why I think people aren't specific is because I was thinking it's because they didn't have access to the information, right? Before we like really had, full on access to the internet. And now I'm noticing that people are just as random and as nebulous about how they ask for what they actually want and what they actually know that they want as ever before. So this is going to help you get really clear on how you can ultimately get what you want. So first thing, I want you to pretend that you have to cold call. Yes, I know. You probably joined BNI to not cold call. You network so you don't have to cold call. But I want you to pretend you have to cold call. So you have to decide what doors you are going to knock on today. All right. What doors are you going to knock on? Who are the people that you want to meet? Who are the people that you're trying to get a conversation with? Right. So if you're going to go out and cold call today, you've got to have a list, right, of where am I going? Which offices am I going to? Who's the person I'm going to ask for when I get to the office? All of those kinds of things. That is the mindset that I want you in as you start building out who are you actually looking to meet? Who do you want to meet? How do you want to meet them? All that kind of thing. And it's basically the mindset of I have to knock on doors today. So I'll use me as an example. Okay, so if I was going to go and I was going to knock on doors to get people to come and visit VNI chapters, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to say, okay, where are business owners and sales professionals? Where are they hanging out? Who are the people who are likely to want BNI? Who are people who tend to have a generous, giving mindset, who tend to be lifelong learners, who want to have a successful business? Like, where are those people hanging out? So a couple of examples. One, those people are hanging out probably at chamber events, right? They're probably hanging out at chambers. The first thing they think of when they go to the network is chamber. So write down my chambers on the list. Associations is another one, right? If they're lifelong learners, they're going to continuously want to learn about their craft. So if there are any associations around, I'm probably going to focus, for in-person chapters, I'm going to focus on where there are already doing things in person and locally, instead of trying to convince people who are doing everything online to come and do it locally and in person. So I'm going to look at those things too. Then I said business owners and sales professionals. Now we have LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn. I can go to LinkedIn and I can search for business owners in specific professions. I can search for, who is a sales rep for larger companies. I can actually go and research all of those people as well, right? So those would be the doors I would knock on. Is, who's responsible for sales for large organizations? Who's responsible for chamber memberships? Because I think we could actually help them by referring them new chamber members and all of that. So I'm thinking through where all those people are. So now I have my places that I need to go, and now I need to research. Right? I need to research who are the people who do the sell memberships for the Hoover Chamber. Who are people who sell memberships for the Huntsville Chamber? Who are those people? And almost always that information is on their websites. They tell you exactly who those people are, because they want you to contact them when obviously you want to buy a chamber membership. So I've got access to all that information. Now that I have access to all that information, I go in and I start doing my research to get specific. The name of the person, right? The name, the profession, the business that they're in. I get all of that information together, and that's going to be where I want to go. If you're in B2C, you're going to want to do this with who are good referral sources, right? You can do this research on referral sources, even though you might not know so-and-so's searching for insurance. You at least know where are people before they start thinking about, let me shop around for some insurance, right? So think about what those are and those particular referral partners. So now I've researched all of that. Now I can go now do Google searches, right? Google searches, LinkedIn searches, and I'm going to find people's names. Because remember, let's do a quick exercise. I want to learn, just think about how your brain works as I say what I'm about to say, okay? I want to meet someone who works in the oil industry, who is responsible for construction in the oil industry, and they're the people who are going to be going to be the people who are who are buying pumps. Let's say, okay, right? They're going to be the people who are buying pumps. That's who I'm looking to meet. What did your brain just do? It was like, pumps. Like, I don't know anything about pumps. Oil industry. Like, do we even have the oil industry here? I don't know anybody in the oil industry. Construction. Why construction? Oil industry. Pumps. Do they use pumps in oil industry? Like, your brain's like, you have more questions than you have answers. Or I could say, do you know Caitlin Williams, who works for Chevron? Right? Caitlin Williams is my sister. She works for Chevron, right? That immediately, there's like no question. There's yes, I know her. No, I don't know her. I might know her. I might know she works for Chevron. I might not know she works for Chevron, right? I might not have any idea. But literally, you can say, your brain immediately goes, yep, nope, right? Super easy. Super easy. I don't have to think. If you have me trying to put in effort and think about your business and how your business works and who's the right person for your business and all those kinds of things, it immediately makes it infinitely harder for me. So reduce the user effort, reduce my effort that it takes. Give me that list of people that you want to meet because I can literally go, yep, nope, yep, nope, yep, nope, nope, yep, right? I can go down that list and I know exactly who to introduce you to. And it makes things so unbelievably simple. So simple. All right. So now we have to create the list, just like I said, research where are the people that I'm looking for? Who are the people? Who are the doors that I would knock on? What are the companies of the doors that I would knock on? Then I say, okay, who are the people who are in the companies of the doors? Who's the decision maker? Research all that. Get yourself a list. Makes it so much easier for me to help you if you've ultimately got that list. And now I know exactly how to, like I said, I know exactly who you want to meet and I know exactly all of that. And I can say yes. Now, once I get to yes, you know exactly who I know, then we can get to strategizing. Now, how are we going to make this introduction? How well do you know them? How well do you know the person? Do you know them personally or professionally? Is it easier for us to be introduced by just going straight on into business, or is it easier to be introduced by going and having coffee and making it a little bit more social? Are there things that we have in common that maybe we all play golf? Maybe we can all go play golf together, and I can ultimately set this thing up for you by the 10th hole, right? Like, how are we going to ultimately set up this introduction that I'm going to make for you? And then once I know how I'm going to set up that introduction for you, now I've got everything that I need to go out and actually really help you. This can literally be done in a matter of moments. I went to a workshop eons ago, like long time ago, and they said, come with someone that you trust and bring your Rolodex, bring your list of people that you know. Okay, so who are people that you already know? Keep that list, bring that list with you. We did all these workshops and things like that to get to know things, but the power came in the last exercise, and that was okay. Switch lists. Okay, so we switched the list of people that we knew, and all I want you to do is I want you to go down the list and I want you to check off who you want me to introduce you to. That was it. Check off who you would like me to introduce you to. Just literally him going down that list and looking at it and checking things off. Literally, we found over 120 people he wanted to have an introduction to. Now we had right, you can't do 120 all at once, but it was that simple to identify 120 opportunities for him. And honestly, I just printed out the BNI roster. Printed out the BNI roster and said, hey, who do you want to know? These are all people that I know, right? And who do you want to know? So it becomes so much easier when you can do that. But it all starts with you having the list. It all starts with you having the clarity on who are you actually looking for and who is that. It's research. You do have to do a little bit of research, but it's pretty simple research. It's yeah, it's pretty simple research because you think about who are the people that I want to get to know, who are the people that I want to meet, who are the people, who are my best customers and who are their competitors, who are my best customers and where are more people like them. And it becomes just so much easier. If you trust me and I hand you a list of people that I'm looking to meet, you're going to glance over that list in less than 10 minutes. You're going to have checked off all the people that you know and feel comfortable introducing me to, and then we can sit down and we can talk about how we're going to make those other introductions. That is how you make a powerful one-to-one meeting happen after you've gotten your trust. That's how you make a strategic one-to-one meeting happen. When you go into your chapter meeting and you're saying, who am I going to ask for? You take that list and you grab one person off of it, and that's what my weekly presentation is about. You sit down with every single person until you have no one on the list. Maybe you say to yourself, I want to make sure I have 20 people on my list at all times so that there's kind of a rotating and you're not overwhelming people too much. You can get into those nuances later, but all I want you to do is please make the list. Make the list of people, the doors you would knock on if you had to cold call today. Make a list of those people. You don't have to cold call. You bring them to your chapter. You bring them to all the people that you know, and you get them, you ask them to help you, and you've just made it infinitely easier for them to help you, right? Okay. All right. So your homework, cut an hour, put down an hour. I like to go someplace that is not normal, a coffee shop, someplace. I actually like to do it on the weekend, so I know my phone's never going to ring. I know nobody's going to try and contact me at all, and that's when I do my brainstorming time. That's when I think about Who is it that I'm looking for? If that's when I do my dreaming of what do I want to accomplish, goals wise, all of that kind of stuff. Get yourself out of your normal routine with some quiet time and sit down and get that list together. I am telling you, it will work for you 100% of the time if you are surrounding yourself with people who are very well connected. All right. That is our tip for today. So get this list of people, helps you with your weekly presentations, helps you in your one-to-ones. Keep that list going. It will just help you get to your results so much faster than ever before because you're going to know people can help you right away instead of having to count on them to think through and really help you by thinking about your business more than you think about your business yourself. Okay. So get that list together, use it on your next one-to-one. Just try it. I know you probably are thinking to yourself, like, is this even going to be worth it? Just try it. I've never known anybody who has done this that has not reaped huge benefits from it. All right. And so thank you so much for watching. We will see you again next week when Haley Jones comes on. She has a podcast, Straight Out of Prison podcast, with her and her husband. She also does business consulting. They have a brilliant story and they're really getting into the podcast space. And I just love what they are doing. So I can't wait to share all of that with you next week. Thanks so much for watching.